Well, what's good, guys? This is Vahagraphy. I'm Vahagan, your rock and roll photographer. In this video, I'm going to review the TTArtisan autofocus Z-mount 27mm 2.8 DX lens. Okay, this lens costs $149. It is a Z-mount. It autofocuses. 150 bucks. I wouldn't call this a pancake lens. However, it is a small and light lens. I'm going to take some photo stills with it. We're going to review it. We're going to do some video clips and we're going to have some fun. Like I said, guys, 150 bucks, autofocus, 27mm DX. I mean, the build quality is okay. I mean, it's not, your toughest lens. I mean, it's light. It feels plasticky, but it has an aperture ring. I guess the rear cap, you can use it to update the lens firmware because it's got some connections here and it's got a a micro USB connector. I could be wrong, but you can update the firmware through the lens cap. I did use this lens for a couple of live streams. I'm very surprised. Like I said, for $150, DX 27mm, like I said, on a full frame equivalent focal length, you're probably right around 40mm or so, right around there. All right, let's get started and let's go. And by the way, the aperture ring right on the lens, you can set it right on the A dial and you can control the aperture setting right on camera. The focus ring, like I said, feels pretty smooth and the aperture ring clicks. Feels pretty good. For what this lens is, you get a nice little box with it, with some nice little foam inside. I guess this is like what, a warranty card or something. So without any further delays, let's get started. Let's go out, let's shoot some stills with it. Let's do some video and let's rock and roll. All right, first up, here's a look at this lens mounted on a Z camera. This is a Z6. This is what we'll be using today for the review. This is a full frame lens, but we'll be shooting DX. But this is what it looks like mounted on the camera, ready to go and ready to shoot. As you can see, it's small and light and it's compact. But first up, before we start taking pictures for this review, it's Armenian barbecue chorovat time. Hungry? Let's have some lunch. All right, well, when I started shooting, the camera was on FX mode. So this is video shot on FX. Switched it to DX mode here, shooting video, 4K video, 24 frames per second with this lens. Here's some still images with the 27mm TTArtisan lens at 2.8. You can tell that there is background blur. You get this swirly type of bokeh. Now pointing the camera directly towards the sun at 2.8 and at f16, you could see the sun star there. Let's do some video. This is wide open video shooting directly into the sun through the trees. Now at f16, you could see the sun stars there at f16. For those of you who are interested in specs, number of diaphragm blades 7, optical design 6 elements in 5 groups, 39mm front filter thread, weight 94 grams. For these series of shots, these are all shot wide open at 2.8 with the Z6 on DX crop mode. Here at ISO 1600 DX mode, shooting natural light with this lens. Minimum focus distance is about 13.8 inches, so a little bit over a foot. Here I'm using minimal focus distance, shooting this clip at 2.8. I wanted to make this review as simple as possible for a simple lens like this. Here you go, at 2.8, you could see the background blur. Look at the sharpness on that jello. Here at f2.8, we're gonna look at vignetting in the corners, wide open at 2.8, f4. By the way, that's my father posing for me. At 5.6, pretty much goes away at f8 in the corners there with the vignetting, and f16 stopped all the way down. And here's one thing to keep in mind. I'm using a Z6 camera. Full frame, we're at 24 megapixels. If you were to use a APS-C camera from Nikon Z mount, you get a lot more megapixels when shooting APS-C mode. By the way, look at the bokeh, wide open at 2.8 right here. All these sequence of shots and videos were shot wide open at 2.8. I did not have an APS-C Z mount camera in hand during the filming of this review, but you can clearly get an idea of the performance of this lens. Here, indoor shots, ISO 1000. You can see that this lens performs well. It is sharp, and I really like this lens for the money. Now, in this next test, we're going to do video. We're going to use that focus box that you see right there, small area AF. Now I'm going to be walking towards that door handle focused the box on the door handle right in the center. I'm gonna go background and foreground. You can see the autofocus is doing a smooth job. Now, I did use this lens on a couple of my Vahagraphy videos. Here's a sample of that using the TTArtisan lens while doing a talking head video on my channel. This lens comes with a screw-on mini hood that you see here in this picture. This is similar to that 26mm Nikon lens that also has that screw-in hood. This lens also has an STM stepping motor for silent focusing, and yes, the lens was silent when focusing. I like the fact that this lens actually has a click aperture ring. You can actually feel the clicks. Interface for firmware upgrade. This was interesting. You can update the firmware via lens cap and cable. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this review of the TTArtisan 27mm 2.8 autofocus lens for your Z-mount crop sensor cameras, your Zfc, your Z50, Z30. For the money, I thought this thing is very sharp. $150 US. TTArtisan autofocus. I really think you hit it out of the park, TTArtisan, with this lens. I mean, like I said, for the money, it renders really well. 2.8, it's very sharp. If you like reviews like this, guys, please like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification. You'll be notified when I upload new videos. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of the image samples of this little guy right here. More reviews on the way. Thank you for watching. This is Vahagraphy. I'm Vahagan, your rock and roll photographer. We'll see you very, very soon. Rock and roll.